G'day mate, I thought might as well film this while I'm doing it. So I'm going to, I can remove the intake manifold, so that's what I'm going to use, the 372 XP. So this is that pipe. I just cut the end off it where it was a spark plug tube. That's off there. Just deciding how long I want to make this. So I thought the length's going to be determined by how much I can clamp. So that's pretty good there. That's the clamp I'm going to use, a thin clamp. I'll fit up here, or that way I should say, and I'll cut the first part there, I suppose, and that would work. But you're going by really, that's the factory intake, so that long. It's a little bit shorter than the factory intake, which will give me a bit more room for the carb because the carb is a bit bigger. So it'll be good. I'll burn some of that rubber off. Yeah, that'll work, I think. All right, keep cutting that thing. Should point out too that I'm going to cut this thing on a slight angle. So talking a slight angle like that. A slight angle, not much. So I'm about 2 or 3 degrees, I suppose. That helps me with space and allows me to get carb to sit where it should sit. And I'm following where the factory intake is. On a slight angle, it'll help me out. So if I want to cut a bit over the grinder, I can adjust it, but I need a slight angle. Right, I'll get that done. Okay, so this is the intake of the factory one. So I'm going to burn that off and show you how much. There's not much rubber really in it. It will be smoky as all hell if I close the shed, but I'll burn that off. You guys see that? So I'll get the blowtorch going. You can cut the rubber off first. Less smoke, I suppose, but I'm in a hurry. Let that burn off and clean it up with a wire brush. That's it. And that's my base plate, my base with the intake. So anyway, I'll happily have a little fire, but you're going to do is make sure there's nothing around that's going to burn. On the concrete here, so pretty safe. But yeah, little fire going in the shed. Right here then. Now this is still a little bit warm. I can pick it up and just a bit. But all I've done is just scrape it on the concrete, and that rubber's come off. Now it doesn't smoke that much on this particular one. I wouldn't call it rubber. I'm not sure what it is, but some type of plastic. But no, rubber smokes like buggery. It doesn't smoke at all. So now I'll put that on the buffing wheel and buff that up. So I've got something to weld to. That's the intake on these Chinese made sauce. More weight. That's quite heavy. So it's a good thing to weld to. I'll get that done. So now I'm left with a cleaned up piece of pipe. This is going to be the interesting part, I think. How to make it fit. So it's 14 mils. So I don't know if you guys can see that. So 14 mils. That's the right length for the tube. So it'll give me a room that I want. I'll clamp down to that nicely. So I'm going to cut behind that rubber band there. So that rubber band, that rubber circle, and I'll go parallel to that one there. So I'm not going to cut straight because it's bent up. So more room. Now the trick I'm going to have to do now is work out the go of this. So I want to go round to a strange shape. So you see that shape there. That's the intake, all buffed up. So that has to be squeezed a bit at the end here. So I'll try and do that. Just a little squeeze. So you put in your vise. Hang on, better make sure I don't do it on the spot I don't want it, because I did do a bit of a cut. I'll work out where the angle is now. Can't remember. I should have put a mark on it. Oh, that just like that. Right. So that's where the angle was. Squeeze that in. And on the very end. See across the very end of the tube, so don't upset this end. Squeeze that bit, go odd shape, pull back out and have a look. So I've got a circle here still, and hopefully that will give me room to or adjust that. Okay, so that's my intake. Is it right enough? I can still go a little bit more. That's nice, just a little bit more, and that will give me a better fit. I'm trying to spread it out so I don't have huge holes. That's nice. I'll do a bit more right in the end. Oh, that's better. Better. Right, then what we got now? So it sits that way. Very thin. Yep, it's almost going in the hole. Actually, I might be able to squeeze it into the hole. That could work out even better. Alright, I'll do a bit more squeeze. Find stuff on the run. Not good. Squeeze. Beautiful. Starting to get there. Just a tiny bit more, I think. That's it, I think. So we're going to from a round, that shape, to an oval. That almost fits in the hole. Very close to it. So I'm left with that. So I'll TIG weld around that, and that'll give me a better intake. Yep, that'd be perfect. I'll make this thing rock and roll. Alright, weld. I thought I'd share my thoughts on this. I bought some cheer lenses for my helmet. So they're ×2. And look, if you want to do some TIG welding, I found, probably because of my age, the worst part was I couldn't focus on something so small, so close like this. Now I can focus really easy, so it just brings that into focus like really close. Nice. I'm going to muck around the old one. It's got a quick release on the gas back there now. I fixed that, it was leaking, but this is just when you dial in TIG, can be stick, you dial in the temperature and it does everything else. It's good for steel, I suppose, but I haven't really used it, so I have a bit of a muck around because the enemy doesn't fall down there. I'll get that in a minute. Do some aluminium or... Right. Okay, not everything works out, so I tried to TIG these bits of intakes, but that pipe, I couldn't get the TIG. Every time I tried, it burned straight through. It's a spark plug tube. It just, I don't know what's in that metal, but it's not really metal, so it ended up breaking. So what I did was that there, so that should work it nice. So I can put the 372 carby on that. That's brazed around. I've checked it for leaks, it should be fine. So I think what I'll do with this air horn, the intake on the saw is more to the left, I think. But you look the way this goes on. I think it'd be a better idea to keep the left hand screw hole. Maybe, so I'll cut through there, cut through the part there and leave the hole, so I'll eradicate all that and cut through this side here so the air horn can actually fit in there. So fair metal's already removed, keep that hole, it should fit in just tight but nice. Alright, get that done. So this is how it turned out. So I hope the air horn will go to that part there, no further, because like a lot of those hole, that one hole up, I'll balance it and hold that, and might get the road the handle and stuff like that. So I only moved a little bit, but still got to put the fuel line through there, the accelerator. But I think that'll work, I really do. Right, so I'll pull the carving stuff and see how we go. So you should know I've gone through this twice now, looking up in the sun outside, and I've seen a little hole, a pinprick. fixed it up, and I've just found another one. So a little pinprick. Make sure they're perfect, otherwise your air leaks and your soil will run dry and actually kill it. So at the moment it looks like it's perfect, and if there's an issue, it should be the glue will take it up. But I don't think there's any more holes in it. I think it's only good. So I'll put him up. Wow, this is big. It's not as big as the other one. A hole through that. I'll try and lighten that. Yeah. It's not quite as big as that. That's a massive one, but that limited me where I could do the carving. But I think it's pretty very good. Let's go straight through there. So that will get the air that I want. I put the angle on it, so we've got the air horn should sit up. I haven't glued nothing, so it's just like that. But I come out here. So I haven't glued nothing, so if I want, I can pull it all off again. But yeah, it's pretty good. I should have made sure it was more to the right. A bit skew whiffed, but I have to adjust that. Anyway, I got clamp. That's pretty close to clamp there. It's almost the same length, I suppose, as the original, I think. Well, let's have a look. 14 mils, I think it was. That's 14, so measure that. No, it's probably 10 mils longer, so that's alright because the back part, take that off. So it will hang out the arse just a bit, but there she goes. That's good airflow, that is. I'm happy with that because that will make that saw rock and roll because it just needs more air, more fuel. I already know how it goes, but we'll see how she goes now with air filter. Okay, if you've watched it this far, I'm up to this part here now. I've got the bolts that are too long, so what you do is you put nuts on the bolt, so you can fix the thread up. So I'm going to cut these bolts off of a angle grinder, a bit, probably about that long, because they've got to go through the flange part just here. So they don't need to be that much longer, but I need to cut them to the right length, otherwise it won't work. But you put a nut in there after you put a nut and clean the threads as much as you can. When you're winding that off, it actually cleans the thread up, and you should be able to put the thread back in the hole where it needs to go. So I'll leave that done. So I ended up with 2 bolts, right length. So I'll put the code back in. It's hard to hold everything. There's 1 bolt. Other one's flying through my legs. There you go. 2 bolts, and the nuts you just play around and unwind them, do them back up, unwind them, and do them back up, and it'll come up clean. Alright, fit them up to the chainsaw. This is what I end up with. So you can see the carby's not sitting square. The reason for that is I might have to do something about that, don't know. The mixture screws in the carby are hitting the base. Those screws just down there. There's the idle of the mixture screw. They're hitting that metal there, but I can't get to them. So I can get too high, I can get too low. So I'll probably leave that alone. I've got the pulse line hooked up. Now I'm going to work out accelerators and stuff like that. If I want to, I suppose I could hook up some bracket for the air filter too. But I just want to put the air filter on because this thing roars. It's quite an interesting saw once it's going. Very powerful. For what it is, for a Chinese made crap saw, it's got power. Surprising power. There's hardly any compression. It's not like a dunk, it's just has never had enough airflow, and now it has airflow. It goes good. It's hardly no compression at all. Anyway guys, over and out. Oh yeah baby, look at that. I ground back over the leaf under there so the mixture screws aren't rubbing, because I thought if they're rubbing they might get loose and stuff the carby up. It is a genuine Husqvarna carby. I saw I found it in the bin. I was told it was in the bin to pick it up. So I'll probably make some plate up here for that bolt there so it can't ball around. Air filter I can go on top, so air filter can be wherever I want really, just away from the spark plug. Now I can cut timber and shut off the power scope. Before I couldn't do that. So I'm wrapped, got to work out the pulse line on, got to work out the accelerator, That's going to be the worst part. Bend up a linkage for it and make it work. I couldn't really get full acceleration last time, but I'll make something up there. Alright, over now guys. I know, one last thing. I forgot to say, I put a relief on saw just here. So the air can come out here and flow up there. Similar to a Husqvarna setup. I think they were going to be air horn in there, but they never did. But I have seen saws with that cut out already, but I want more airflow up where the carving area is, because it's important. But of course, the pulse line there, I've got a heat shield on this that part there. Come on, camera. The heat shield's there. That part just there. So, what happens? The motor gets so hot that it actually melts the pulse line. When you get this performed, it doesn't get hot and damage the motor. Just the heat that comes out. It's a little bit extra heat, so that's important. All right, guys. Now over and out.